Hey everyone, Cav here with the SAUER Academy, here to talk to you about changing out the barrel of your MCX Virtus. The MCX is by far one of the most modular systems out there, and what the really cool thing about it is I can change the barrel at the range without any major special tools or anything like that. The tools I need I can get at any hardware store out there, pretty easy. So if at the range I want to change from a long 16-inch barrel rifle down to a 11.5-inch 5.56, I can do that as well very, very easily. All I need is a T27 Torx bit. And what I'm going to do first and foremost, like I should always do, is check the rifle to make sure it's completely clear. I'm going to check both visually and physically, not just once, but at least twice to make sure it's completely clear. From there, what I'm going to do is pop out this front pivot pin, yank this little guy out, and from here I can move my handguard right off of here just like that. Once I've removed that, I'm going to lay the rifle back down. I then grab that T27 Torx bit, and I've got these two little screws right here that I'm going to start to loosen up. I'm going to loosen them up till they're completely loose. Doesn't matter what order I do that in just yet. Just go back and forth so I'll make sure they're completely loose. Once I've done that, I should be able to yank that barrel out just that easy. From there, let's say I got my short barrel rifle stamped back from the ATF. I got my barrel in the mail, yippee. All I'm going to do is grab this. What I would definitely recommend is putting a little bit of lube right here on your barrel extension. I'm going to shove that right in there completely to make sure that these two little pins in here are seated properly all the way into the rifle, so I can see it in these two little windows right there and there. Once I know it's completely seated properly, what I'm going to do is lay it back down. Now, going back to these two little screws, you're going to notice if you look carefully that there are two numbers right here, a number 1 and a number 2. That's important. I want to keep going in that order. So what I'm going to do first and foremost is lock down this number 1 first. I'm going to grab this little clamp here, pinch it, and tighten down number 1 just finger tight for now. And I'm going to repeat that process on number 2. Again, just going finger tight. And then from there I can go hand tight, not exerting too much pressure. I want to snap the heads off of these screws. I'm going back and forth, and I'm not getting any movement with just medium amount of pressure. So from there I can throw my handguard on at the range and start shooting. If I want to get the absolute most accuracy I can possibly get out of this weapon system, I would definitely recommend a torque driver. I got this one set to 60 inch-pounds. Don't get that confused with foot-pounds, completely different. I'm going to grab my T27 torque bit, throw that right in there, 60 inch-pounds, and again I'm going to go back and forth starting at number 1. So I go to number 1, I go until this little guy clicks, which means it's set at 60 inch-pounds, and then I go to number 2 till that clicks, till it's set at 60 inch-pounds. I'm going to go back and forth just to make sure I got no movement out of the screws at all. Once I get no movement, I know I'm set, and I've got solid consistency between those two screws. Absolute most accuracy I can possibly get out of this thing. From there, I'm going to grab my appropriate handguard for this size barrel. Make sure it goes right onto the rails. Push down nice and tight. Pop that pivot pin back in. Do a quick little function check to make sure everything's going to work properly for me. My bolt locks to the rear. My bolt releases. On safe, my rifle does not fire. On fire, my rifle fires. I rack it, I let go, and I get that trigger reset. So if you want to learn about the MCX Virtus, go to SIGSAUER.com. If you want to learn about taking an armorer class here at the SAUER Academy, more specifically the MCX Armorer class, go to SIGSAUERacademy.com, and hopefully we'll see you there.